It's the I Can't Mom Today podcast with Heather, the new mom, and Vera, the seasoned mom. I Can't Mom Today.
Hey, this is Vera and Heather back again with another episode of I Can't Mom Today podcast. Hi, Vera.
Hello, Heather. How's it going?
Man, seen better days. Better days. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel you. Actually, I had a little bit of a COVID scare yesterday.
Oh, no.
Because, I woke up, I had a little bit of a sore throat, and I thought, well, a lot of times when the weather gets chilly and dry here, it gets, I just kind of, everything gets dry, my nose, sorry guys, TMI, but everything gets kind of dried out, and you can even hear I sound a little bit nasally. So anyway, I was like, well, it's just my regular cold weather kind of sore throat thing. But then it just started to get worse, and I started to get a headache, and I was like, uh-oh, this isn't good. So I decided to get a COVID rapid test, which came out negative, thank God.
Oh, good.
So I'm still not 100%, but I'm definitely better than I was yesterday. And the theory I've come up with is it's just my regular cold weather kind of post-nasal drip. But also the other night, Jerry and I watched the national championship college football game. And we were sitting by go dogs. And we were sitting by the fire, which was great. It kept the fire going because it was chilly out. It was nice. But I think that the smoke, in the house and sitting right by it, all those hours, it irritated my throat. Yeah. So I've made it a point to sit by my air purifier since yesterday, and I think that's helped some, but I'm still just a little bit bleh, and then cold weather always just it's almost like it sucks the life out of me. I don't know. It's always been like that. So anyway, but I know that Baker hasn't been feeling so good, huh?
Yeah. And this comes on the heel of me still not feeling good. I'm finally to the point where I'm not taking medicine except for just cough drops to, open up some nasal passages and stuff like that. We brought him to the ER on Saturday night because he was fine all day. And he just had a really wet cough. And I was like, this is weird. And it was just he'd cough once and then hours would go by and he'd cough again and hours would go by. And not until right before bed, probably about 5:00, he started coughing more consistently. And I was like, okay, I'll put his humidifier in his room. Maybe it's just dry weather. We came back from, Oklahoma, where it's, a lot less or a lot more dry or a lot less dry than Colorado. And so I was like, maybe that's the reason. And so I put it in his room, and I went to bed at midnight, and I heard him coughing on the monitor, but it wasn't a lot. It wasn't often. It was here and there. And I did notice that his cough was changing, but over the monitor, I didn't notice it that clearly. And so I went to get him to bring him to my room. I picked him up and I was like, all right, let's go to the potty. And he was shaking violently while he was trying to go potty. I mean, it was bad. And he was coughing. It was this really barky cough, and he was burning up. And I was like, I'm like, all right. And he's complaining that he can't breathe. And so I'm like, all right. And he's and doing a lot of that and wheezing. And I was just like, oh my gosh, no, we're going to the emergency room right now. We brought him to Children's, and they said he had croup, and they gave him a steroid. And so that helped him a lot. Now he's just in the very snotty, gross stage. Nose is just super clogged, and it's just, I feel for him.
What is croup exactly?
It's this barky cough. It's defined by a barky cough. And the reason why, and this is from what the emergency room people told me, is because they don't have, their throats aren't structured the same as adults, because they don't have the cartilage in it that have formed yet. So it's kind of still floppy and everything. So it can inflame that the neck and windpipe and affect the windpipe and the sound going through it. It evidently gets worse overnight, which I can validate. And they said to help with that, not saying you should do this in lieu of going to see urgent care or whatever, bring him out to the cold. If it's, she said they saw some during the summer, which isn't uncommon for croup. They said if it happens during the summer, go to a freezer or refrigerator and let them breathe in some of that cold air. That helps bring down some of the inflammation. And I did notice when we're driving, because we were, it was 10 degrees outside. So when we're driving, he did seem to calm down a little bit, but he was in tears and just freaking out. And so yeah, Brad wasn't home. So I'm calling him. I'm like, you need to like, we're going to the emergency room right now. And Brad's like, okay, I'll get over there. He's on duty. And so
Yeah.
it was a mess, but he's getting better. But this brought me to the fact of, I've always heard, in our topic for today, I've always heard man cold. And I'm so sorry to Baker's future significant other. He will be that person, I believe. He just does not deal well when it's, he has snot in his nose and he's like, my nose hurts. And I'm just like, oh my God. I'm like, it's okay. You're going to be okay. But he is very dramatic when it comes to that. I don't know who he gets it from, because I certainly am not dramatic, and Brad definitely isn't. But I've never known anybody with a man cold, because Brad, like, when he gets sick, he goes to the room and just like kind of hibernates. And I usually stay away from people when I'm sick. I'm just like, leave me alone. I'm going to go to my room. And then I start getting whiny and dramatic when it's like 2 weeks. I'm just like, I just want to feel better.
Yes. Oh yeah, there is that, because you just get so frustrated. You're so tired of feeling sick and tired. Yep. Yeah. Well, that's the way I pretty much go and hibernate or whatever. But Jerry is a little bit more, he's not exactly dramatic 100%, but it is kind of like, and like, oh, can you bring me blah, blah, blah. Can you bring, so I get, I end up being, waitress. So, that is, sometimes I don't mind taking care of people I love, but at the same time, after a while, it's a little bit like, all right, freaking get up off your ass and get your own shit. Sorry, beep. Yeah,
I have noticed that, well, Baker won't take medicine either. In the hospital, he's like, oh yeah, so I don't want to, but I'll take it. And at home, no. It's like, I mean, literally, Brian and I had to hold him down the other night. We put the medicine in his mouth because he's not a good person with fever. Like, he gets really, really crazy with a fever. And so we're like, well, just give you some Tylenol. We put it in his mouth and he spit it out. I was like, I go, no, you've made your choice. You're choosing not to do this. So you don't get to snuggle with me. Go snuggle with your daddy.
Well, I don't know, Heather. Withdrawing love, I don't know if that's very healthy.
I know. And so I felt bad for that. So
yeah,
as soon as I laid down, I put my hand on him and he crawled over to me and I snuggled him.
Yeah, I know, but I know when you're
my decision in lieu of your decision is.
So, meanwhile, inwardly, you're like,
I know. No, I did feel bad, but for me, I'm like, just, and it's insane of me to think that he is thinking logically because he's 4, but it still is very frustrating. We put out a poll on Facebook and Instagram, and most of our listeners and followers are women. We do have some men. So I should have probably phrased this a little bit different. Like, maybe, I don't know, I want to be inclusive. So I don't want to say wife or husband or whatever, because there could be 2 wives, 2 husbands. But so I put me, significant other, both, and neither. And I had on Instagram, I had 0 people choose both. People are big babies. Overwhelmingly, though, people say their significant other is a big baby.
Yep. Same thing on Facebook. That's what on Facebook too. The significant other overwhelmingly wins. One person said they themselves are the man cold sufferers, and one person said neither of us, but almost everybody said it's the significant other.
We had a few people say neither, and we had one other person say me with me. Because I marked myself as me because I can become a big baby, and I want to change the wording because I know it's considered man cold, but it's not. That's a generalization, right? But so like just a bit. Who's the biggest baby when you?
when you get sick, yeah, exactly. It is. And like I said, I just start after a while, start feeling taken advantage of, it's like, oh, can you get me this? Can you get me that? Like, okay. I've already brought you several meals. I've run to the store. I've done this. I've done, I'll take care of you, but there comes a point.
Yeah. And I think my frustration for me comes in when it's, for the most part, Brad can go and like recoup somewhere. And for me, I can't go and recoup somewhere because I'm always, because it's, if when we get colds, it's Baker and I are sick. So I'm taking care of Baker, and it's just, that's where I get frustrated. I'm just like, I just want to get better and I'm not getting better.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, because you're not sleeping well because Baker's not sleeping well. And yeah, so it's hard for you to recover because you can't, like you said, go off be by yourself.
I know. Wouldn't that be nice
and
though?
recover. Oh, yeah. Seriously, I've been watching 90 Day Fiance, Lauren and Alexi after the 90 days.
Oh.
So she just is about to have their second baby, and he is going off to Israel for a week. That's where he's from. To go to his cousin's wedding and to spend some time with family. And she's a little bit like, because she's like 6 months pregnant with their second child. Their first child is only like 18 months old.
Oh.
And so she's like, even though she told him, no, you need to go. She's like, I don't want you to go. And it's not fair. You're going to be out partying and I'm not going to be able to go and be just by myself forever. Never. I'm never going to be able to.
Yeah.
And Jerry's like, she's being a little overly dramatic. I said, well, yeah, but still she can see in her mind, she's still got a few months of pregnancy with the second one.
Then she doesn't get to drink.
She doesn't get to drink. She's going to have to breastfeed probably, for another 9 months or whatever, still taking care of the older child. And so she's not going to be able to go take a break probably for at least another year.
Yeah.
So that's in her mind, that's forever because she's tired. She's pregnant. She's taking care of a toddler, or not even a toddler yet. So anyway, I was just like, yeah, because that's what it's so different being a mom when they're little, especially. It's just they're glued to you. And that's just kind of the way it is, no matter how wonderful and helpful the dad may be. It just seems like that's what happens. And then you feel guilty leaving them, so there's all that. And then too, one of the other things that she said to him was, can you imagine if I left for a week, our house would be upside down, which some of that happens too. He just said, it's upside down with his Israeli. He's funny. He's very laid back.
I wonder if she could send the 18-month-old with the husband.
Yeah,
that's what I would do. I'd be like, you're welcome to go. But you're taking him with you.
Take the 18-month-old,
or her, or whatever. Yeah,
you're
taking them. So I'm gonna have like a little baby moon by myself.
Yeah, there you go. I'll get to relax in the third trimester of my pregnancy for a little while. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
No, I would. Listen, I love my child, but space is what makes our love grow fonder.
Oh, for sure, you do. You have to. Well, that was the thing too. When I had Lucas. And we were in the hospital. I didn't realize, granted, I don't know if I would have taken advantage of it, but right after I had him, I had this 32-hour labor. I'm exhausted, but I kept him in the room with me the whole time. I didn't realize that I could have sent him away at some point to rest.
Yeah.
Like, to go be in the, baby room. And I didn't do that because I didn't realize I could do that. So I had him with me the whole, whatever extra day and a half that I was in the hospital after having him. So I wasn't sleeping very well because I've got him basically on top of me, on my chest the whole time because I didn't want to. I don't know. I never had a baby before, so I didn't know what to do. So anyway, but again, it goes back to that whole mom guilt and feeling bad being separated from them. So if you can manage to give yourself some space for a little while and not feel guilty, I think that's perfectly healthy, like you said.
Yeah. Bye, baby.
Yeah, go. Mommy needs to sleep.
Yeah, 100%. And I like this. I feel like this is what a lot of stay-at-home moms deal with. With the constantly being around. They don't get time away. And even when your husband or spouse or significant other comes home, they're still there.
Yep. Exactly.
And some people are made for it. Some people are.
God bless them. Not me.
No. And I told you, like last week, I was feeling great. I mean, I was sick, but I was like, Baker's in daycare. I don't have a job. I'm like, yeah. I'm loving it. Even though Brad was at home, it was a lot easier because I didn't have him home. I didn't have the stress of a high stress job. And so I was like loving it. But then this
Oh,
week, I'm
yay.
like, I can't do anything because he is home and he is sick. And so I really embraced it because I was like, I don't have a job right now. Speaking of, I am getting my coaching business up. So if you would like some life coaching or relationship coaching or anything like that, hit me up at ican'tmomtodaypodcast@gmail.com. I'm doing a donation-based coaching at this point. So
Sweet.
you pay what you want. I'm just looking for a few clients right now to fill those spots. But anyways, so I embraced it. I was like, you know what? We're just going to sit on the couch and we're going to cuddle and watch TV and just relax because he gets tired, right? Baker's 90 or nothing. And so it's usually 90. And when he's not, like right now, he never gets taken down with colds. Like even when he has colds, he's still going 100 miles per hour. It's just this kid is made of energy. And so to see him this sick where he plays for like 5 minutes and then he's like, I've got to sit on a rest is
wow. So, he's not feeling good.
Yeah, for sure. So it's been nice to just really embrace just being like, you know what? I don't have anywhere to be, anything to do. So we're just gonna snuggle. So we
focus on resting and snuggling, and that's good. Yeah, that's a good mindset to have. Definitely, that will help you out. Sometimes the mindset can really make a big difference. That's for sure.
And question for you: when you are you an audible person? Meaning, like, do noises bother you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Why?
My dad used to breathe really heavy, and this has been something for decades that I've had. It's not something new. Like I would be like, why do you have to breathe so loud? And so like my dad being the amazing person he is, he would sit there and be like trying to like calm his breathing. And now like obviously I miss it. But even when I was with my sister, he was eating one morning. I was like, I'm going to be sick if I hear him eat and breathe. I'm just going to be sick. I can't do this. You've got to take over this job. And so Baker this morning, I was trying to sleep in and like, but wake up early enough because I missed our meeting yesterday because he was up, crying about his nose being clogged. And he like tries to breathe out of his cloggy nose. And so all I hear is like that snot, like covered nose. And I'm just like,
it makes my nose hurt just thinking about it.
I know, but I'm just sitting there like, I can't do this. I can't do this. And I'm like, Baker, just breathe out of your mouth. And he's like, I'm trying. I'm like, you're not. But I'm like, okay. I'm like, all right. And so I was like, I'm getting up. Go snuggle with your father. Because I was going to be sick. I can't. That's annoying.
See, it doesn't make me nauseous, but it irritates me. And it's hard for me to focus on other things if there's an irritating noise like in the background somewhere. And that's, because then I'll know, like if I'm lying in bed and Jerry's emptying the dishwasher, great, that's awesome. But I can hear every clang of every dish being put away, every drawer being slammed, every cabinet door being slammed, every shluff of him shluffing on the tile floor. And I'm like, okay, I may as well just get up because I start building these visual images and and it's jarring a little bit first thing. I'm not good first thing in the morning, so it's every time there's a clang, whatever. So that's where it'll get to me. Or if I can't stand, people chewing with their mouth open. Yeah. That grosses. That makes me nauseous. But yeah,
that doesn't. But the breathing stuff, and the nausea stuff has come in the recent years.
That's funny.
Yeah, I was like, I'm gonna throw up on you if you don't stop.
I'm gonna vom. Look out!
I know but he's so cute.
They're lucky they're cute.
I know. But I was like, I got to get up because I'm going to be sick. I really am. I just can't.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah. Totally.
If you have any ideas for something you want us to talk about, let us know. I have some time on my hands so I can reach out to experts. If you have an expert that you want us to speak with, just hit us up at ican'tmomtodaypodcast@gmail.com or on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, not Snapchat, and don't do TikTok. I Can't Mom Today podcast.
Yes. And rate us too. Don't forget to rate the podcast, please. 5 stars. 5 stars. 5 stars.
All right. Until next time.
Bye.